What's poppin' T Squad? Your girl is Bizak like crack. Tonight I am doing, well, today it's not night. Today I am doing my growing up hip hop season 6 episode 5 review. I do have some juicy behind the scenes tea for you guys directly from cast member Cree Campbell. If you have not checked out my interview with her, it is up right now on my channel. So make sure you check it out. But I have some exclusive behind the scenes tea for you guys from her. But on tonight's episode, well, on Thursday night's episode, Vanessa and Cree visited TT at her place. And as soon as they walk in, TT ass is frazzled. She over here breaking glasses and shit. Glass all over the floor while they filming the scenes. These hoes got on open toe heels and shit, about to crack their goddamn feet and shit open. So the ladies arrive, and Cree girl, I did not like that outfit, ma'am. The little cat suit and the heels, perfection. That Prince of Zamunda crop jacket, ma'am, absolutely not. It looked like you was trying to star in a remake of The King and I. Let's not wear that ever again. Then Tanise joined them, and she up here looking like Nicki Minaj in the motorsport video. I didn't know really where she was going with that outfit, child. But Cree shows TT her design concepts for her wedding. TT officially hires her, so congratulations, Cree, on another booking. So Tanise asked TT, is she going to invite Egypt? And she basically was like, it's a no on inviting her as of right now because she don't need the bullshit. And I frankly don't disagree with her decision. I really wouldn't want that type of energy around me neither. It's supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life. I don't want any negativity, any fakery, any uneasiness around me on a day that's supposed to be blissful and about me and the person that I'm marrying and me and this man becoming an official family. So absolutely not. I will not want her or Pepper there. So then we go to Egypt, child, and she up here acting like she Britney Spears doing her meltdown. She up here channeling Demi Moore and G.I. Jane. Like she wanna be so tough so bad. So she cuts her little hair off. It's cute on her or whatever, but things went left for me real quick when she said that her and Sam was going through pictures and he was the one that decided that that was going to be her next haircut. And I was like, oh, now it all makes sense. Because this nigga up here trying to make you look like the nigga, the man that he really wants. You just one step closer to being that nigga that he wants, honey. I'm like, girl, don't you see all the signs? He done made you cut off your hair, gave you a box, you faded it around the sides, you already got them broad ass shoulders, you ain't got no titties, girl. It's basically like he fucking a man now. Like he has turned you into the fucking transsexual that he always wanted. But if you like it, I love it, girl. So Savannah visited them at the studio, and I ain't gonna even front. Sam's little song that he was in the studio singing was kind of catchy. It was a cute little something. It was the best thing I've heard from him thus far. So they sit down and talk, and mind you, Sam is still in the booth, and he turns on the volume inside of the booth so he can hear their conversation on some old sneaky, shit. He think he actually Jekyll and Dr. Hyde or whatever, or Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, whatever. So Savannah tells Egypt about meeting Cree and her and JoJo doing this show, and them JoJo wanted Egypt to perform, and him asking Savannah to ask her, will she, perform? So wait a minute, I lost my spot. Oh, so what's her name? So many goddamn names to remember, child. What's that child name? Egypt says she's iffy about doing it because JoJo and Sam, don't get along. They got into it. So she says that she's gonna talk to Sam about it because, mind you, she gotta run everything by Sam, child. So Savannah, you looking at her like, the fuck? Like, why you gotta ask this nigga? Like, he ain't your fucking daddy. So Savannah tells her that JoJo says Sam can't come. And so here go Egypt, baby. She gonna stick beside her man. I'm gonna stick beside him. That he mine. So she says if they don't fuck with him, I don't fuck with you. So Sam in the booth smiling like, told you I got mind control over. He think he David Copperfield or somebody. So Sam then comes out and sits with them. And Egypt was like, we're at Beyonce and Jay-Z status, and people treat us like we're not. And Savannah looked at them like, excuse me? You a what? You at a who? Girl, I looked at that damn television. I was like, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Really, Egypt? More like David Ruffin and Tammy Terrell. More like Pepper and Trench. More like Brittany and Kevin Federline. More like Nikki and her rapist jailhouse husband. Like, girl, don't you ever disrespect mother like that. Like, bitch, you should be put in jail for saying some stupid shit like that. So Sam says, JoJo ain't did shit and that he a capper, this, and that. And I'm like, what have you done outside of put on a fucking thong and shadow box? Like, excuse you? So Savannah tries to talk Egypt into doing it or whatever. And Sam then was like, what label is Creed with? And so she was like, Slip and Slide. So Sam was like, oh, okay, I don't need nobody to help me. So what we didn't see in that scene is Sam, what they edited out according to Creed, is that Sam was talking shit about Slip and Slide Records. And so I'm going to give you all the exact message that Creed sent me when we get further into this review. But they edited out Sam talking about Slip and Slide. And you can tell that he had been talking about the record company based off his facial expressions and the response that they did show him having. So, Savannah then tells them that she met TT, and Egypt was like, my cousin did me wrong. Like, she made everybody think I was this little girl. Didn't nobody think that she didn't make nobody think that. We already think that about you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you make yourself look like a little girl with the decisions that you make and the things that you say. And she was like, I know things about her, but it's out now because my aunt found out that Shawn had multiple women in Jamaica and TT ended up pregnant. And I was like, so Savannah covered her ears because she like, this is messy. I don't even want to know none of this. So Savannah was like, do TT know? And Egypt was like, I don't know. Now see, you lying, because when you and your mama filmed that bedroom scene, your mama flat out said that TT used to come to her crying about the shit. So you're lying. You lied twice. Because first of all, I put two and two together that Pepper paid her crackhead sister to come on there and expose TT's fiance cheating on her. So they wouldn't quote unquote look like the bad guys, like they was the ones spilling her tea. But we already figured that out. They paid the crackhead auntie with a couple of rocks and a two wings and a biscuit to come on the damn television to exploit her niece and make her niece look bad so Pepper and Egypt can look like, well, we want to tell her business. It's my auntie the one that did it. Okay. So Savannah, her confession was like, well, I'm telling. So Sam was like, who is TT? Pepper niece? Yeah, bitch. Who the fuck are you? And her mother is highly successful. So what the fuck are you talking about? Where the fuck your trailer trash ass come from? So, Boogie calls DJ, who was that man that he was supposed to be starting that sober house with, as he's going to see Briana. And so the man tell him that, he tells the guy DJ that she was drunk when they got into it. So the man DJ suggests he tell her to go to a meeting with him, an AA meeting. So Boogie, however, is scared to get out the car, scared to have this conversation with her because, he's a non-confrontational type person. So he calls her and was like, I'm here basically because, they all have call times and stuff on when they're going to film. So she invites him to come up because she was about to start cooking. And she was like, you want a glass of wine? And he was like, no. And so he was like, oh, I'm gonna call you back in a minute. So he got off the phone and he was pissed because she offered him a glass of wine. And he goes off on one of the producers saying, he leaving and this, that, and the third. Now, I would have been offended too, because you know that I'm on a sober journey. So why the fuck would you offer me a glass of fucking wine? Like, bitch, you trying to be funny. So he calls her back aggravated and said he aggravated, and I'll get with you later. So she was like, just come upstairs. You said you wanted to talk. Just come upstairs. He was like, look, just let it ride. Just let it rock. Just give me a minute. We'll, talk about this another day. So she calls him a selfish little bitch and hangs up and throws her phone. I was like, here the fuck we go. So we then switch to TT at home with her baby. Shawn FaceTimes her and she tells him, they got a lot to tackle when he gets home because she's stressed out. He's all the way in Jamaica handling business, and she thought at this point that he wouldn't be going back and forth as much. And he asks, is that why she wants to go to therapy? And because he feels like they don't even need therapy because according to him, they don't even fight that much. Or not at all. And she was like, no, it's not that we don't fight. It's just the fact I tell you how I feel about something. You placate me, but I'm still upset. So I was like, yeah, that's the issue. Now, they never said anything about cheating. So I guess we're gonna find out if this is true or not on next week's episode. But I mean, Shawn finding the motherfucker. That's a fine ass white boy. I mean, I wouldn't even, whether he didn't cheated on me or not, I'll still be keeping tabs on that fine ass motherfucker. Shit, I wouldn't let that nigga out of my sight. So we go back to Bree and Boogie. Bree going off on Boogie and hang up on him, and Bree was like, oh, we're wrapped. Don't let that bitch ass nigga Uber come yet. So she heads downstairs to confront him while the producers and everybody is in the hallway. So as soon as she get downstairs, the cameraman was like, we're rolling. Because they weren't gonna miss this shit. So Bree was like, you got an issue? And Boogie ignores her. So that pisses her off even more. And Bree was like, you're a baby. And Boogie was like, bro, I'm not dealing with her. So Bree was like, you wanted to speak to me? Boogie says, facts. And turns his head. So Bree was like, you're a spoiled fucking brat. You think you're the utmost importance, and you ain't did shit. Fuck you, you spoiled bitch. And so she goes back in, and Boogie was like, see, this is what I was trying to avoid or whatever. And like I said, as far as this situation with Briana and Boogie, I understood where she was coming from with the fact that he didn't take up for her when he was speaking to Egypt and Sam when they was talking shit about her. But I also do agree with Boogie that Briana has a drinking problem. We've all seen that she does drink extremely too much. She does have issues that she herself needs to figure out and work out. So they both have, valid grievances. So TT and Shawn go to counseling, and TT gets emotionally right off the rip when the counselor asks them why do they want to get married. And Shawn was like, he didn't grow up having anybody, but when he met her, he finally felt like, he was whole, like he had a family. And, she says that, she likes him and loves him and wants to marry him because she feels like she can trust him. But she said in the beginning of the relationship, it was really tough because it's hard for her to trust people, and then she's always looking for the other shoe to drop. So it seems like they might have had some type of issues with infidelity, or it could have been a situation where she was assuming he was doing shit and he really wasn't. And I could understand where TT was coming from with that, because me myself, I don't trust people at all. Like me and Sheridan, as you can see, have been friends now for the last maybe 3-4 years, and I just felt comfortable recently with calling her a close best friend at this point. Like, I gotta vet your ass out because I have been fucked over by so many people that, yeah, like, you gotta really show and prove. And even when you show and prove, I still got my eye on you. So I understand where she's coming from with that. So they get on the subject of family, and Shawn says that he wants to see her resolve her issues with Pepper Egypt, whereas she just on some shit like, fuck them, like, not dealing with it at all. So, you can just tell that they do have some issues that they need to work out, but I hope that they are, able to figure this whole situation out. So Eric is at his dispensary. JoJo and Cree visit. Now, Cree, I like this outfit. Love the little the little blush ensemble. Love the little cute bodysuit with the back cut out, the fitted joggers. Very, very cute. Very figure flattering. You were showing off that donk. So Savannah and Lil Stevie J join them, and JoJo asked Savannah, is Egypt gonna perform? And Savannah was like, She not moving nowhere without Sam. So JoJo was like, he can come and sit in the corner with your dog Savage. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. So Savannah was like, Sam said, just watch. And at this point, you could tell that they edited out the part where Savannah was telling Cree all the shit that Sam was saying about Slip and Slide Records when she was in the studio with him. And that's what prompted Creed to then go on his Spotify and look up his stats. So Creed sent me a message on Instagram and says, when you watch and do your review, just some inside tea from what was hella edited out. Savannah came and told the group Sam was talking shit about Slip and Slide Records and that the artist on the label ain't nothing. So I went in on him. I pulled up his monthly listeners, and I also pulled up our artist Tanier, which is her sister, monthly listeners, which heavily outweighed his. I never go in on anyone unless they come from me first, and you can quote me on that. So they edited out, like I said, Sam talking shit. And I don't understand how the hell Sam talking shit about anybody when it comes to music, because you ain't did not a goddamn thing. He over there at Slip Aside, they have tried and true artists. Like, boy, you wish you was on any of those people's level. So how you downplaying somebody? Once again, he just know that he don't want to lose his meal ticket and for her to wake the fuck up and for his ass to be back on the curb where his ass was. So fuck his good roly-poly looking ass, old burnt earthy looking ass nigga. So back in the scene, Creed was like, let me pull up his Spotify. He got 36 monthly listeners. Like, he ain't even got nobody listening to this shit. So Savannah was like, they told me they on some JMB levels type shit. And everybody started cracking up laughing like, I know you, fuck you lying. So JoJo was like, I'm still going to respond with love and they can come. So Savannah and Creed didn't go outside and talk. And she tells her what Egypt said about Shawn and TT. And Creed was like, why is she even discussing that? That's her cousin. Like, they blood. You need to be careful with that, because if she'll do that to her cousin, she'll do that shit to you. And I was like, you better tell her ass, you better give her good advice, honey. So Creed was like, I'll talk to Vanessa about it, since they're close, and, have Vanessa go and talk to her, because, me and her ain't close like that. I'm, trying to do business with her. It's something that she needs to know before we move forward. So I would have did the same thing. And the whole thing is just messy as hell. Overall, I give this past Thursday's episode of Growing Up Hip Hop a B+. It was a really good episode. Seems like shit is gonna really get back to moving and grooving this coming Thursday. Let me know what you guys thought of this past Thursday's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. My Novel Dream 2 is officially done. So those of you who did cop a Dream 2 book box, be checking for it very soon. I will announce when the boxes have been shipped, so get ready. And those of you who have ordered your B-Day box, get ready for those to be mailed out very soon as well. More info to come. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.